Welcome on the show,
Thank you very much.
Mr. Cole Flournoy.
Cole Flournoy.
Did I screw that up again?
You got Marley's name wrong, but I'm not sure if you've said my last name yet.
It's all right. At any rate, Cole. You get Cole.
There we
go. And you're working on something kind of cool, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. Big project.
Yeah, it's called Help Hero.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ask you a lot of questions about it. You did show me, what maybe somewhat recent past, what the kind of progress you made on it. And I'm just going to ask you a whole bunch of questions and learn all about how you got to where you are and what you're doing with it and all of that stuff.
Sounds good.
So first of all, what is Help Hero?
So Help Hero is a mobile application and also a web application that it's really a social media platform that focuses on giving, and so doing charitable like activities.
Yeah.
And so we look a lot like TikTok. We use all the latest viral dynamics that you see in TikTok and Instagram.
Right.
And we're applying that to doing acts of good, essentially.
Right.
And so it's part of it is a response to social media being kind of a negative thing in a lot of ways.
Right.
It's very addictive. A lot of times it's having a kind of a net negative on people's lives.
Yeah.
People are really aware of that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, can we take all these dynamics, all these things that are in play now with these social media platforms, and can we actually retarget that and do something really, really good with it?
Right.
And so the platform is a place where you start off by opening up the platform, or you can see also our content on our normal social media channels.
Right.
And you'll see videos. And so the videos will be, it could be charities doing different work that they're doing, like in the field, amazing, incredible work. It could be somebody that is running an animal shelter, and maybe they are feeding some of their puppies that they have there.
Sure.
But the idea is that you can flip through these videos, and you can really quickly see you'll see stuff that's very interesting. So
right.
and it uses the same kind of technology as TikTok, whereas we will be targeting the videos to what we'll kind of automatically find out what's most interesting to you based on your viewing habits.
Right.
And so we're putting content in front of you that we think that will be likely that you'll want to engage with it.
Right.
And so what that kind of happens, how that kind of plays out for the user is that they see this content and it's like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a part of this. I want to help this organization.
Right.
So we make it really, really easy to donate right through the platform. And then where we really, really do something different than is almost done anywhere else is we really tie back to the user exactly where their donation actually goes.
Right.
And so when somebody donates on our platform, what's happening is on the back end, there's is either a charity or there's somebody that's doing that act of good
right.
that you're kind of interested in, and they basically receive a notification that says money is available.
Right. You've received a donation.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so for them to basically get that donation, they record themselves doing that thing. And
okay.
So one of the examples that I talk about a lot is working with the homeless. And so we've worked, and this whole concept it started partly from me being in San Francisco, and there's obviously a lot of homeless around there. And so
right.
I used to work with the homeless and kind of take them out to just to lunch sometimes to talk to them and
right.
and do different things like that. And when I was doing that, what I really found out was that these times where I would take a homeless person and just go give them a lunch or a sandwich, it literally ended up being maybe the most impactful part of my entire week.
Right.
It was the thing that I was thinking about. It was the thing that I would tell people about, and it really enhanced my life in a big way. It was
mm-hmm.
like it made me feel good. I felt really thankful for what I had.
Right.
I felt really thankful that I was able to help this other person, and it was always it was striking to me that I'm literally talking about buying a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
This is $10, $12. It's not a lot of money, and
right.
so I'm doing this really small act, but I'm getting this thing back, which is like enormous. And so the platform that we built was really about how can we give that experience to many people.
Right.
And so in Help Hero, when you donate, so if you flip through the platform, you see one of these videos.
Right.
You say, I want to be a part of that. You click donate. You donate $10. You can get a video back of an actual sandwich going into a homeless person's hands.
Right.
That you bought. And so they'll look at you a lot of times in the camera. And we the way it works is, we'll walk up to the person. We'll say like, hey, would you be interested in a lunch? We have some donors, and you can send a message back to them if you'd like.
Right. Right.
And I mean, almost always they're so happy and thankful, and they say, and we say this was from Cody. Cody paid.
Thanks for that sandwich.
This. And they're like, Cody, you are awesome, man. Thank you so much. And
right.
So you get that video back.
Right.
And so you make a donation, you get this video back, and then you actually have the experience of actually being connected with your donating. Mm-hmm. And so that's the big kind of key thing that we're doing, and we're letting people really just feel what it's like to actually give and see it actually help someone.
Right. And there could be a variety of different. Do they technically have to be an organization, or can it just be like any charitable cause? Because there's going to be a variety of use case. How would you say, just charitable efforts? A variety of different charitable efforts. And I'm assuming that if you are organized in one of these efforts, that this could be an opportunity to get people involved more in what you're doing. It's because it's something fairly unique, right?
Sure.
So it's kind of if you have a new way to invite people to participate, then you have a new thing to talk about. You have a new way to attract people, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I would be really excited to, I'm going to be really excited to watch it grow and, and see what people start doing with it, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. And I think the point you're getting at is that it's not just for charities,
right?
That they're one kind of use case for our platform. It's obviously it obviously can be super helpful for charities because they're kind of already set up. They're doing large scale activities and some kind of
but there could be a division where it's like if it is at a large organization, they could have like they could start with a small team. You could almost call it like the Help Hero team. If you want, whatever they want to call it. And it's like, all right, you guys are going to, manage our presence on Help Hero and put it into action and make sure the videos are getting sent back and like the proof of, how would you say, use of the donations.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of great because by giving them this tool, you're helping them almost set up a marketing channel.
Oh, absolutely.
For their charitable cause. Which is really interesting. The last a couple guys we had on the show earlier this morning, they're actually what their whole operation revolves around connecting builders or contractors, real estate agents, and homeowners. And so they're providing a way for the real estate agents to sell something other than a deed, and they can sell like an accessory dwelling unit or a remodel, and they submit the lead to Buildry, which is their app. So you're using the app as a way to make connections.
Sure.
And so it's kind of what you're doing. Excuse me. It's almost what any functionally effective application does. It provides a window into another world.
Yeah.
And then hopefully with a pointed purpose, right? So I mean, like even like just basic stuff like Instagram. Okay, you're just sharing pictures, and that's kind of like a window into the world of your friends, right? And that's kind of like, I guess, the birth of social media.
Sure.
Right. And now you're changing the shape of the window. You're aiming it at a different spot. You're giving it a different purpose. It's like, well, use this window, if you want to get kind of like ported into like charity,
Sure.
and it's like, well, we're still like in the beginning of a lot of what we can do with tech, some of this social, not just social technology, but what would you call it? Like just technology that like has something like a high enough bandwidth to like share, high resolution. And I'm using that not in the technical term of like a screen, but data rich experiences.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So you're going to have higher and higher quality video and audio and in different ways. And you're connecting people. I mean, yes, eventually you could get into like augmented reality and stuff, but it's like, that's not really the point. The point is like 20 years ago, we didn't have the internet bandwidth to do a lot of the stuff that we can do now.
Yeah.
And so it's not, and it's also not limited to social media because obviously like this has a social, your invention has a social aspect to it. But it's more what we're able to do now, and your proof and case in point of this is we can make ideas happen now because we have the technology to facilitate it. And I just probably talked for a minute to get that one sentence across is really what I was thinking the whole time.
Well, I think what it sounded like that you were getting at is that it's really that technology enables us to do a lot of things, but what the end result is really about is about the experience, and it's about so far Instagram, Facebook, and these different platforms, they give us kind of a broad window into an organization. You can see the highlights of what they're doing.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
And what we're doing is we're definitely going a much greater step forward. There's a much higher resolution of what are they actually doing.
Yeah, it's more transparent.
Yes. And so and this also relates to a big problem in the charitable space is that people have become almost used to that a lot of charities are effectively scams,
right?
And so
that's almost the normal idea.
Yeah, and so this is a big thing on people's minds all the time now. Is if I do donate to this place, is it actually going to get used appropriately, or is it going to go?
Or is 97% of it used for overhead?
Sure, and it's a real question.
Like if I donate $100, does $3 actually only feed somebody?
Yeah, and it's a question that really stops a lot of people from donating, and it's something that has stopped me from donating. And,
sure.
and I've known this all the time that there's some natural disaster or some kind of big event, and I'm hearing about it and I'm seeing it on the news and all these different things, and I want to help. I want.
But how do you sift through who's a scam and who's not?
And that's the thing. That's the thing is that realistically, what I have to do is if I really want to do this, I'm going to have to sit down and I'm going to have to do a couple hours of research.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to figure out, is this particular organization, are they really actually doing work? Am I comfortable with it? And then I'm go through this process of donating.
Right.
And what that does is it cuts off probably 98% of people donating, because they're not going to go do 2 hours worth of work to figure that out.
They are willing to hand the money over if they have the certainty that it's not being squandered.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's not the only thing involved. Because they don't want the money to be squandered. They want it to be put to good use.
Yeah.
And so the only way to protect against that is with hours of research.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of like, well, am I willing to do hours of research? I'm willing to give the money, so it's just, that conundrum. Yeah.
And and that's where we really come into play, is we're saying, the whole dynamic of what we're doing is we're we're saying we're not asking you to trust us or trust the charitable activity on our platform. You can see what they're doing. See what they're doing, and when you donate, you're going to see exactly. You're going to see where does your money go specifically.
Right.
And so right off the bat, it makes it so it makes it inordinately difficult for scam type charities to function on our platform.
Yeah,
we provide too much visibility into what they're doing.
And it would be great. I mean, look, you're the guy developing this, right? But it's always easy when you're not the one developing it and you're just somebody on the sidelines from the outside, being like, hey, it would be great if it had this, But certainly, it seems like it'd be good if there was a way to incentivize the organizations to give personalized you know, like you said, hey, Cody, thank you.
Yeah.
Because it's like my mind, I don't always play the devil's advocate, but I am particularly cautious sometimes of like virtue signaling when it comes to if it's like, are you actually genuinely doing a good thing, or are you doing a good thing for marketing?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I get something back and it's not personalized, I'm like, okay, so this is something you recorded. How many people did you send this unpersonalized thing to as your proof? Right. And so it's like, oh, I wonder if there's a way to like not enforce at least, but at least incentivize effectively to get those like personal responses back.
Yeah. Well, it's
like I said, I'm the guy on the sidelines, and everybody who's like you and your team is, you're like, even if there is a good idea, you're like, still have to figure out how to build it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you to play devil's advocate for sure. You can drill into any of these concepts.
Yeah, no, I did, and I'm just not the guy that takes pride in doing that.
Yeah.
But there's always that person who's like, that's the role they play in every conversation, and I'm just like, I don't want to be that guy. That's so annoying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to answer your question about this one, and so our platform can work different ways. It can be these kind of one-to-one interactions where you donate $10, you're going to see somebody getting a close to $10 sandwich.
Right.
But it can also work in the context of larger items where there's 50 or 100 givers. That have all their donations are going together towards this one item.
Right.
But what we're effectively seeing is that the share rates are enormously higher when you have these personalized videos that like you're talking about.
When you say share rates.
Well, so like if somebody's gonna, if you imagine if you donate, to an organization, and today, almost across the board, what will happen is you'll get an email that says thank you, right, and so and it's a generic email, right, and so I mean, you just know right off the bat that it's like, that would be kind of weird for you to post that online. It's like it's generic. It's like that would be like, if I saw you post that, I would think you're virtue signaling. Right.
You're like, cool, nice email, bro.
Yeah. But if on the other end of the spectrum, if you have this literally personalized video, so it's an actual human being that you
could share it.
You just helped.
Yeah.
Then it's like, that's like a literally cool, awesome thing that you're sharing. And so
it's not. It's not virtue signaling because you're more sharing it for the cool factor.
Yeah.
Not like because it makes you cool, but because the whole thing is cool.
Sure.
It's like, guys, check this out. Yeah. This is neat. It's like, I donated to the Sandwich Club. So somebody fire up a Hope Hero or a Help Hero account called Sandwich Club.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And then it's like, that becomes the biggest one ever. It's just like, hey man, you pop $10 in, and then somebody gets a sandwich. And
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So how far have you guys gotten? I mean, like how built is this thing?
It's built. We're launching it right now. And this is the first time that I've talked about it on a podcast. I've purposely not talked about it.
Yeah.
It's been an enormous project. It's been it's been years in development.
Well, it's an honor then. Yeah, that's cool. I think that's neat.
Thank you.
Yeah. And congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a multi-year long project from full-time engineers. Wow. It's a massive thing, and it's the back end on it is very complex. The way the payments flow to do this seamlessly, to get the money to the organization,
to the right place.
It's been an inordinate effort.
Were you in engineering before this, in computer engineering, or okay, you were. So you had some level of way to communicate with these engineers that are going to build this thing.
Completely, yeah. So
I mean, these are your valuable teammates. I shouldn't say these engineers. It's like, no. But really, though, if you don't know how to communicate with them, how do you know if they're doing a good job?
Oh yeah,
etc.
It's I'm kind of
besides just seeing it come to fruition. In front of your eyes.
It's very very. it's very, very difficult to build this kind of thing that we've built without a lot of background in this space. And
Right.
so I've got I've built apps before that I was what I'm really most well known for is a financial application that was the number one on the App Store for about 4 or 5 years.
Sweet.
on iOS.
Wow.
And so we had millions of users.
Wow.
And so we had a really good run with that, and that's but I've been doing computer related stuff my entire life. So
Sure.
I've always been a geek, and
Well, you showed me that device contraption that
Sure.
you made. I don't know how to describe this for everybody, but like, so he has his iPhone, and then he has his like Bose headset, this like over-ear headset, and to connect the two, he has this like, it looks like it came out of the movie The Matrix. And it's like, there's all these like cords. There's like the lightning port out, and then it like loops back on itself. And then there's a bunch of like shrink tape looking stuff and
Yep.
like shrink rubber. And like, I know that there's a bunch of stuff getting like converted to other wires types and whatnot. And then there's like a Rode like microphone transmitter looking thing. And it's all bundled together in this, it looks like you would like insert it into like a transformer.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, and then out of that goes the cable into his headset, and it makes it so that you can like listen to music and talk on the like sorry, this is just an aside, but I'm just like, you're talking about being a geek, and I'm just like,
yeah.
oh, no, really, he's not kidding. Like
Yeah, it's in my blood, and my whole office is full of things like that. And yeah, this thing it looks like a movie prop or something. It's kind of like a weird kind of bizarre very handmade thing, but what that particularly does is it allows me to listen to music really loud on my iPhone. So
Right.
I listen to techno or
crank it up.
EDM. Just
Yeah.
I get in the zone,
Mhm.
right? And I've got my Bose headset on, and it's noise canceling, and I have my the microphone comes out of that.
Yeah.
And so what it does is it provides this kind of experience where I'm talking to you and I can hear myself really, really clearly.
Oh, when you're on a phone call.
When I'm blasting that music.
Oh.
So I'm listening to my
Your music.
my EDM or whatever
Yeah.
it is, and kind of I'm also a drummer, so
Yeah.
I really like kind of
The
I
rhythm.
get into the zone when
Yeah.
I have a good kind of music and beats, and I'll walk around a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly like walking. I kind of go back and forth, and I have a notepad, and I'm listening to my music, and but the microphone lets me talk, and I can it's very, very sensitive, so I can basically just whisper, I can just barely talk, but
and hear it over the music.
I can hear it over the music very clearly, and so it really allows me to think better. It's like,
Wait, so you're talking to yourself?
yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So that's what I'm doing. So
It's a live microphone monitor.
Yeah.
So you figured out how to like make this piece of hardware, this like little, I'm calling it a contraption because if you saw it, you'd be
Sure.
like, I don't know what else to call that.
Yeah.
So that you could use your Bose headset to listen to loud music and talk to yourself to give you, like just right now we have these podcasts, so you can hear yourself talk and you can hear it over the music. So
Yeah.
it's just like a device that you built for like maximum flow state focus for coal.
Exactly. Yeah, and it works phenomenally. So and it's literally how I build and design this stuff. Is I'm in these I get into these flow states, and it's usually at 3:00 in the morning.
Right.
So I'm at this for whatever reason, that's just when it happens. It's
Right.
a little bit problematic for my life, but
Yeah.
but it's usually 3:00 in the morning, and I'm blasting this music, and it's a little bit too late to be talking loudly, right?
Yeah.
And so I can just kind of like whisper to myself, but I can hear myself really, really clearly, and I come up with these concepts, and I'm able
It's
to.
interesting. So
get them on paper.
when you're working alone, you even find talking, I mean, I can't say I don't talk to myself, but how much do I talk to myself out loud? I don't know. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I would, maybe it's like a certain percentage, and you find that helps you think.
Totally.
Because obviously
Yeah.
conversations can be a tool. You and me are conversing right now, and it's shaping the way we think and is forming our ideas as we go. But I find myself in my head a lot. talk to myself a lot in my head silently. But I'm wondering how much of that I mean, because obviously for you it really helps having the feedback and hearing it. I know on a podcast hearing myself talk it gives a heightened awareness. It freaks some people out. They're like, just can you turn this down?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I almost want it to hurt. It's so loud. That's how involved in the conversation I don't want to hear anything else other than our thoughts.
Sure.
So I'm sure it's the same concept.
It's exactly the same concept. It's there's something about this environment right now that we're having a little bit heightened engagement in the conversation because of the quality of audio. Yeah. And being able to hear yourself so well. And
so then when you're problem solving alone, do you like play roles like, all right, like one part of me is going to like work on this and the other part's going to like scrutinize it? Or like, is it more of just like, you're just thinking out loud and letting it like, come out?
It's
interesting.
It's both.
Okay.
So, there's an enormous amount that it is just flow. Like it is just coming through me. And so, and that comes from, I have a huge amount of experience building these kinds of apps. Yeah. Like the financial app it's a mobile application. It's a real-time mobile application. Right. And I've done work with like social music applications and I've built application. I've been product managers for tech companies in Silicon Valley. So it's I have all this background kind of knowledge about this stuff. And so when I get into these kind of flow states, a lot of it just like if I can just get into that state,
I wonder how many people would like, if you had your little device, perfected into a finished looking, because I imagine it being like a white cube that doesn't look like anything. It's just like a white rectangle and you shove it in the jack and then you whatever. But it's like, I don't even know what product, like what category that would fall under, and like it'd be like you'd market it maybe as like a focus tool or something.
I've definitely thought about this.
There might be something there.
I'm sure there is. if I wasn't so busy on the
getting Help Hero.
I'd be trying to launching that product.
So Help Hero's built.
Yeah,
you're in the middle of launching it. Sounds like. What does it look like? What does this launch process look like from here forward? So what are you right in the middle of doing, and what's to come, right? So if you're launching, what does that mean? What are you focusing on right now?
Yeah. Well, so everything is always it's always much harder than you think when you go to actually build it, right? And there's all kinds of one thing we've run into is there's massive regulation on the legal side, and so to learn that and to make that work properly is
data collection regulation, stuff like that.
There's a lot of regulation that has been put into place as a response, really, to the kind of like the scam charities that I was talking about.
Okay, so it's on the charity side.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that if you were to compare it, you got for-profit businesses and you've got nonprofits, and it should be easier for the nonprofits. We try to make it easier. They basically don't have to pay tax, right? So the concept is that it should be a little bit easier for them to operate because they're doing something good. But in reality, what has happened is that there's nonprofits have an enormous amount of regulation that for-profits don't have at all, and so so it's very
they get gamed more. Like the vessel of a nonprofit gets gamed more.
It can. It's just that to be a nonprofit. I mean, to be a nonprofit, in most cases, you're going to have audited financials for one thing, right? Which is like a massive thing. It's very stressful.
Yeah, that's no small thing to focus on.
Sure, yeah, and there's consequences. There's very serious consequences if you don't, depending on how you advertise. Did you advertise inappropriately and whatnot? And so it ends up that it's really like massively harder to operate a nonprofit than a for-profit, and so in our case, it's literally we came up with this vision. It was like, we're going to help homeless people, and we're going to help the environment, and we're going to help animals, and and we actually, it slowed us down enormously due to the regulation around all this stuff, and trying to learn it, and trying to make sure that we do it we really do it correctly.
Yeah, because the idea has to work with the system.
Yeah, we don't want to launch this thing that
is not even valid.
Yeah, we don't want to get into trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want to we have to follow this stuff, and so so getting all that in line has been one thing that's kind of taken a while to do. But and then there's also all kinds of stuff. There's trademarks and patents and lawyers for all kinds of other stuff, and there's a lot, like, it's not just the technology. There's like so much other stuff that you have to build before you can actually launch.
Oh yeah. And do you have somewhat of an idea of when we can use this thing, like publicly, openly?
I mean, we're talking about we're like weeks away.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah. So we're finally here.
How does that feel?
If I mean, I'm still like we're not.
You're like, we're not there yet. There's so much left to do.
We're right there though.
Yeah.
And so we're in beta testing now, and so we're doing a slow rollout. So we're kind of opening it up to friends and family, and
good.
And we're just gonna kind of grow from there. And so for us, we're really in the startup space, we're kind of defined as we're like a marketplace. Like, so we have the charities on one side, and then we have and when I say charities, I really mean charities or somebody doing something that's good.
Right.
It could be somebody that's like a hairdresser, right? And they want to
give away free
haircuts to people that could use it, right?
Yeah.
And so it could be, and
they don't have to be a charity.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so and we're kind of with the way that we're actually kind of tailoring towards them a little bit on the initial launch,
right?
And we're kind of bringing the charities kind of after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've lost my train of thought.
Oh yeah, no, I was asking. So we're talking weeks away, and then I guess I was asking what is it? What are we going to expect here? Oh yeah, you're doing beta testing. That's
sure.
That's where we're at.
Yeah. So so we're a marketplace. That's what we're getting at. And so what that means is we have to balance the demand from the donations and the people fulfilling the donations. And,
right.
And so for us, it's about getting because we want what we really want is when you donate, we want you to get a video back from that cause.
Is there a way to prevent that cause from being inundated with donations?
Well, yes, there is, and that's a big part of the.
Not that like it sounds funny, like, oh, is there such thing as too many donations? Like, yeah, well, if you're like, let's just use the hairdresser, but you're only capable of facilitating, let's say, X number of free haircuts per month.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you still have to actually make your money by providing services. Well, how much time can you take? Yeah. To facilitate that donation's fulfillment.
Yeah.
And so it seems like, what if your thing got popular?
Sure.
Just like, I got 1,000 free haircuts to give away. Like, I'm back ordered for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the problems you're getting at is how much can they give away for free, right? Yeah. And we solve that because we're not asking them to give away for free. We're saying you get paid for the haircut,
right?
And so there's a donor that's paying for it,
right?
You're just recording that activity,
right?
And then on the other side though is also just how many haircuts can they do, period, right?
Right.
And so or in this context, how many videos do they want to take of doing haircuts, and whatnot, and so we solve that by, they basically on our platform tell us how much they can do. So they say I can do 5 haircuts, okay. And so on our back end we basically consolidate tons of different charitable causes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then specifically what can be utilized with the money that comes in. So
Mm-hmm.
so we if it's a charity giving out sandwiches, they say, okay, we've got this many volunteers, we can give out 100 sandwiches. That's
Right.
what we can do. And so so our platform allows them basically to fulfill that, to get the funding for that
Right,
amount,
up
and
to
then
that.
and then it goes to the next charity.
Okay.
And then we also have we have also kind of sophisticated algorithms to kind of handle the situation where it's like, okay, maybe this charity says they can do 100 sandwiches, but they can actually only do 20 or something
Right.
like that. And so we can basically
'Cause
detect.
you can detect the rate by which they're sending the reply videos.
Yeah,
et
yeah.
cetera.
If they're taking too long, then
They're like,
their cause funding or future funding is paused until they tell us they can continue.
Right.
And then it goes to another.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to make
another
the experience
cause.
the way it's designed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just got to have some of those protections
Yeah.
built into that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really exciting. I appreciate the flexibility, meaning like you don't have to be an official nonprofit organization that is verified. Like, I mean, you've just even giving the hairdresser example is mind opening as to like, well, what other services might somebody want to pay for on somebody else's behalf because they just feel good about doing it.
Sure.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it could be paying for a kid's soccer registration. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, I can see Christmas season get popping.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's the season of giving,
Mhm.
right? I could see it getting really being the platform being utilized in surges during like those times of
Absolutely.
year. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. You must be super excited.
Super excited. We're just. I mean, everybody is on our team. I mean,
Yeah.
we're going nuts right now. Like we're
Yeah.
just. It's very very exciting. We were.
Do you have any plans to like have a headquarters at any point, or like maybe?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm still a little bit unsure about where I will end up. It could be back in San Francisco.
Right.
Is a pretty natural location to be. And I was there for I think 10 or 11 years.
Okay.
And so I recently had a beautiful little baby. And
Congratulations.
This area is a little bit
Family friendly.
Yeah, a little bit more family friendly. So here for now.
Yeah.
And but we'll see how things go.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a lot of people for sure. So
That's great. Maybe we have a launch party or something.
oh yeah, we'll have one. We'll have one.
Yeah. I just can't wait to use it. Is there going to be like, will it be easy to just like if I wanted to, set up an account and start having, it's like crowdfund. Well, it is crowdfunding charity in a way, but it's in a very connected way. And so if anybody like around town that you talk to wants to like set up and start doing it, it's just like anything else. Set up an account and get going.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We're working for the launch.
Yeah.
We're working very very closely with in picking organizations. And
The base.
We're doing a lot of hand holding and whatnot for the
because it's like
ones.
your base users that I'll just say the base charitable users, because you on one end you have the viewers and the donors, and then on the other end are those different account types. Like I'm asking, like, is that like you have one login and you could do either, or is it like you would have one login for like the donor end and one login for the fulfillment end?
There's
like it would be a different profile essentially.
We kind of enable functionality on account. So you kind of start out as a user, and then we kind of enable functionality. We associate you with a charity account or
right
or charitable cause.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to how Facebook does it. I mean, you don't like if you have a business page, you don't have a separate login. It's all individual users, and then you get associated with those page. And
so we basically you can create
you're managing roles.
There's if we were going to bring on an organization, then they have their account, but they could have many different volunteers or members of staff that are associated with that with that one organization.
Organization. Yeah.
And
Wow.
so it gets really interesting too when you talk about disaster recovery. And so we were just down in Miami just a week ago for the natural disaster expo down there, and we talked to a lot of different organizations that are doing on the ground work there, getting supplies to people after hurricanes and earthquakes, and so so these people that they have hundreds or even thousands sometimes of volunteers, right? And so with our platform, we can be a way where we can literally, all these people, they already have iPhones or most, they already have phones. And so we just get our app, and then we can have, 500 volunteers getting basically notifications that says, funds are available.
Right.
Record the videos, and then that money goes right back to the cause. And so it's a very, very,
I could
powerful tool.
Especially see people with online social influence, like blue check mark people type, using this as an easier way, because like usually these people, like a lot of people with influence, wield their power for good. They put it to use. They hop on social media in various capacities, and hey, we're gonna go down, to this place, and we're gonna do this. One person I watch is a Heavy D Sparks. He lives out in Utah. It's kind of got famous originally, I believe, for the Discovery Channel show. Then now basically uses YouTube to get like several millions of views per video. They're like a media production company, and they do all sorts of crazy like outdoor off-road tractor, just anything with giant wheels and power equipment. And they often they've been doing these like recovery missions where they'll go like rescue somebody. There was a guy out on Lake Mead, and he was the lake level was dropping, and it actually his houseboat that he was on got beached, and so they went down there, and they rescued him and got the thing back floating and took care of him. And then like when the snowstorm hit Southern California recently, up on Crestline by San Bernardino, their whole neighborhood's buried, and they had a convoy they organized, came down from Utah, and dug a bunch of people out of the snow. And the thing is, they can afford to do these things because of their the power to monetize their audience.
Sure.
Right? Because if they have 4 million views on YouTube, that's their business, is entertainment in one way. But that doesn't mean everything's fake. They can just document themselves doing good things.
Yeah.
And, my point in all of this is not saying that there's already solutions. My point is like your platform can really be given to people who are doing these types of things and make it far more easy for them to get funding. They have their own, they have the YouTube monetization. They also make a lot of money doing, the giveaways stuff where it's like, oh, you go on the website and you buy these packages, and your purchases buys you credits towards the giveaway, and you can win a truck, And, it's like there's a lot of money to be made in that model, right? But it's like, and they know how to do that. But if they have another tool, maybe now and then there's a situation where like, no, this is how you directly donate to like us directly, affecting the cause that you're watching us do.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah,
and
that's
you've basically just streamlined that whole idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, here's the hammer for that.
Exactly. And it's it really is that. It's first off, it's additive to what they're already doing. It's like you were saying.
Yep.
They can just do their normal work. We're just this additional tool.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, with what we built, we are really enabling something that is effectively not possible to do otherwise. And so you could get any of these groups or charities, they could go make individualized videos and
It's just super
share
impractical.
Them. It's totally impractical.
Yeah.
It's totally impractical to do that on YouTube. It's impractical even to send individual emails usually.
Sure.
Just the fact of,
what's their email address? Like,
sure. Yeah. Writing that down. And I mean, these
did I get it right? Did I misspell it? Oh, I got a return.
Yeah.
Did not send,
Yeah. And it's and these organizations, I mean, the good most of the charities are good.
Right.
There's scam charities are out there, but like most of these organizations, like they have started because of this incredible mission to do good or to help, and like they want to do their damn work.
Yeah.
They don't want to, they hate fundraising a lot, and it's like it's too much work, and so to do this individualized stuff is just impractical. It's too hard. They're not going to. They don't do it now.
Right.
Like they could, but they don't because it's too hard. And,
Sure.
But our platform is just like incredibly easy. There's no typing email addresses. There's no anything like that.
No, it's already connected.
It's just literally like push button.
Say the thing.
Yeah, and so if you've got a bunch of volunteers and they are giving out, they're bringing supplies to families. You can send those volunteers out with our app, and it's literally like, okay, you're at the door, you're handing these supplies, boom, start, and okay, and then it just basically everything else is just magic. It's just
right.
It's just the video's going to get back to the donor. yeah.
I love it. That's a sign of a good project. When you get to sum it up, is like, well, basically after this point where you give like a little bit, it's basically magic from there on out. And it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
It's taken a few years to get to this point.
Yeah.
But now we have magic.
Yeah. And it is. It's like it's incredible to see it function. Like, because it's like you could just all day long just make these short videos. It's really just, you could just do it in process of doing your normal work. As delivering these supplies, and those videos are shared out automatically on other social media platforms. The funds are coming automatically into the charity. And they're posted, and the videos are posted on our platform, and it's just and like you're engaging with the donors in a way that they've never been engaged with before.
Sure.
So it's like they're astounded when they get these videos.
Yeah.
They can't believe it. It's like, oh my gosh. And so it causes them to
give
like
more,
way more.
Yeah.
It's like way more likely
now
that they're going to give again.
It's kind of like you're hijacking the dopamine system for giving.
Yeah.
It's like, watch, like you're gonna run into this like situation where there's gonna be like, I got convinced to do so much good that I went broke. You're like, okay, cool. No, like you responsibly give.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, that's what I was saying. This question. I had this question about, can we take this dynamic, this social media addictive thing that is happening in our world? Can we grab that and can we steer it into some way that is just like profoundly positive and helpful?
Can we goodify it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
That's amazing. Well, I think if anybody's listening right now, they're like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think people would want to get on the platform. I mean, because it sounds like as soon as you log in, boom, the equivalent to your feed is videos of people doing charitable things, right? And so that feels good.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd rather spend time watching that.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna burn a few minutes,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, all of a sudden, everybody anybody who has this app and uses it might want to put together, if not, they don't have it already, like a charity budget.
Yeah.
For as far part of their, which, I don't know, just saying, everybody should probably have one anyway, but now it feels, now you can explore a little bit, you can explore, you can check out what people are doing. And then some things you don't, like you said, sometimes you don't want to give to the institution. Sometimes you just want to give the practical give. But if it's right there, and this is not to say like, no, for real, go out in the real world and like do real forms, charity in person stuff like that. This is not replacing anything. This is just offering a hell of a lot more opportunity to participate.
Yeah.
Which is really fun.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Yeah.
So, well, congratulations, Cole.
Thank you.
And once again, thanks for coming on the show. I think we can wrap this up. I think that was like a really fun summary.
Cool.
It was a good talk.
Yeah, it was. It was great. It was great to speak with you, and thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, man. You have a good day.
Yeah, thanks so much. And if anybody, Where
do they find you?
So go to our website at helphero.io, and so that's where you can sign up right now to be a part of our beta if you want early access. And if you're hearing this podcast a little later on, then it'll be on the App Store.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it. I'm absolutely going to sign up for the beta.
Great.
Why
Please
not?
Please do.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much.